empathy and compassion, leading through personal and professional challenges. What works well? Es bueno. Leadership that thrives is rooted in empathy and compassion. Acknowledging the personal and professional challenges your team faces and responding with care is not just a moral responsibility, it's a strategic advantage. The most effective leaders know that showing up with empathy isn't a weakness, it's a strength that inspires loyalty, trust, and high performance. When leaders lead with compassion, they create an environment where people feel safe enough to bring their whole selves to work. And that's when the magic happens. When people are seen, heard, and supported in ways that go beyond just their output. Empathy means listening to what's unsaid. It's adjusting workloads when someone is silently struggling, stepping in when life knocks someone down, and offering support without making people feel like they're being judged or pitied. Compassion is about being human. It's leaning in when life throws a curveball, giving space when it's needed, and showing up with flexibility when personal challenges collide with professional expectations. In times of crisis, it's the leaders who show up with understanding who build the most resilient, connected, and loyal teams. Real world experience. I've been in workplaces where empathy was an afterthought, if it existed at all. I was taught to lead with a soldier on mentality. Don't ask for help, don't show weakness, and expect the same from your team. Well, I followed that script for a bit, but then I saw what that type of leadership did to people. It broke them down. It broke me down. It alienated us, pitted us against each other, and created a culture of resentment and disengagement. I knew that wasn't how I wanted to lead. I knew I could do better. One of the moments that stands out is when a team member of mine was struggling to balance work and personal life. It wasn't something they wanted to openly admit, but I could see it. Instead of pretending I didn't notice or adding more pressure, I adjusted their workload, creating space for them to manage both without feeling like they were drowning. It wasn't just about meeting deadlines, it was about showing them that I cared about their well-being. That small act of compassion transformed our relationship and strengthened their trust in me. They knew I had their back, not just when things were going well, but when life got hard. Another time, a team member faced a family emergency. Instead of expecting them to power through, I stepped in. I did part of their work and transitioned other responsibilities to team members who were willing to jump in and cover. Why? Because we wanted them to focus on what mattered most, their family. I remembered how I had been treated in similar situations, left to fend for myself in the middle of personal crises, and I refused to pass that kind of indifference down to my team. I learned that empathy wasn't about being soft. It was about being strong enough to make space for the human experience, to lead from a place of care rather than control. These experiences taught me that leadership isn't just about strategy. It's about seeing people for who they really are, beyond their job titles and responsibilities. It's about understanding that life happens, and sometimes the best thing you can do as a leader is to step back, give grace, and trust that your team will rise because they know you're in their corner. What does not work so well? No bueno. A lack of empathy creates a leadership vacuum. I've seen firsthand how leaders who ignore the personal challenges of their team build walls instead of bridges. When leaders fail to acknowledge the realities people face outside of work, morale plummets and trust erodes. The result? Disengagement, turnover, and a toxic culture where people are more focused on survival than success. I've been in places where leaders took the leave your problems at home approach. I was taught to lead this way for a short while. When someone faced a crisis, the leadership response was cold, indifferent, and robotic. Business as usual became a mask for insensitivity, and the damage it caused was undeniable. Teams fractured, loyalty disappeared, and resentment festered. No matter how technically skilled a leader is, if they lack empathy and compassion, they will never unlock the full potential of their team. People don't follow titles. They follow those who show up, who understand their struggles, and who lead with genuine care. Empathy and compassion aren't just leadership buzzwords, they're the heart of building teams that thrive. It's about understanding that life is messy and we all have our struggles. When leaders recognize this and create space for their teams to be human, they foster a culture of trust, resilience, and connection. It's not just about stepping in when things get tough, it's about creating an everyday environment where people feel safe to show up fully, knowing they won't be judged, dismissed, or forgotten. Empathy fuels connection, and connection fuels success. Just like the song One Call Away by Charlie Puth says, I'm only one call away. I'll be there to save the day. Even though it's a love song, some of the lyrics are transferable to leadership. Being a compassionate leader means offering unwavering support, not to enable, but to temporarily help someone through the difficulty. It's about giving them the space to overcome challenges while still holding them accountable for their growth and performance. When we, as leaders, create space for people to be seen and supported, we build teams that don't just survive, they thrive. Because at the end of the day, leading with compassion isn't just good for people, it's good for business. People will go above and beyond for leaders who see them, who understand them, and who are willing to lead with heart. This concludes Chapter 30. Please proceed to Chapter 31, Flexibility Fuels. Productivity, accommodate team members' needs.